And finally, a video talking about configurations, so configurators. So in the media menu, you have, of course, to go in the new configuration menu, and from here you have to select one of these new configurations. For instance, you can set properties, materials, visibility, and ambience. The properties is the one that enables you to activate by clicking a simple dot or point, the rotators or translators. Materials, of course, to switch materials to objects or group of objects. Visibility to switch on and off specific components or 2D models. And ambience to change the ambience in your scene only by clicking a single button or point, the same. But let's proceed and move on with the first one, the properties. Once you select one of them, you just have to click on the plus button, and as you can see, a new state is created. Of course, if you move back, you will have the single media in this moment called configuration O, but if you click here, you can rename it, and for instance, this one will be the one who rotates, so rotation door. And inside of it, you have a simple, let's say, state. This is the state 1. So the state where my door, for instance, this one, but of course I will do the same for every doors or maybe furnitures here, will be the one, of course, with the single 3D model closed. But for now, I'm just quitting the media mode because I have to create, of course, the rotation here. So in the tools, animator and rotators, I have to, of course, move the rotator here. And from its properties, I have to go to object link and create a rotation. 90 degrees is okay. 0.2 maybe to be opened just once. And this is, of course, my door triggered. So when I move, of course, the door starts moving. But for our needs, in particular for the configurators, you don't want that the rotator is enabled. So you have, of course, to click on the play button. So also on the triggers. So the door is closed, but also is under your rotator trigger. And from now on, what you need to do is to go in the media mode and click on the properties, configurator already created. And this, of course, will be our state. So with the door closed. The second state with the door open. So by clicking on the rotator and then on play, will be this one. So when you click on the play inside the media, then you click on this little icon. So by clicking on this, on the first state, the door will be closed, and on this, the door will be opened. Okay? The same thing applies if you click on this simple icon here. Okay? So by clicking here, the door will open, and by clicking here again, the door will close. Okay? But let's see. Or of course you can rename them. Maybe this one will be the close. This will be the open. And also you can create a thumbnail. For instance, here as you can see they are all black. You can click here and create and click on capture thumbnail. Okay? So the door is closed. And the same thing for this one. So capture thumbnail, and as you can see, the little images previews here are with the door closed and the door open. Okay, but let's see on its properties, because from here we can do a lot of things. Here, the modified properties, of course, are about the configurators. But from here, maybe not from this section, because it will be analyzed in a moment. But in particular, with the trigger settings, we can select if our trigger will be a 2D layer or a 3D object. This is the 2D layer, so the configurator will be here inside our screen as a 2D icon. If we want, we can switch it to the 3D object. So the configurator will be this specific flying icon that will be, of course, in the scene. We can, of course, move it and place it where we prefer. In particular, I can move it here and yeah, let's say in this position. And from here, we can, of course, decide if the behavior of this configurator will be a simple switch. So, for instance, by clicking on this little icon here, I will just open or close my configurator, or if I prefer, I can create a list. So, by clicking this button, I will see the turn mail. Of course, my turn bells will be hidden if the configurator icon is really close to the wall, to a surface. But if, of course, I move it outside or far from the wall, in this case, I will see the turn bells. Okay, but in this specific example, for me, it's okay, the switch button. We will use the list in a moment. And we can also, of course, change the icon or create or update a new one. In addition to it, we can also modify the opacity, the color, the trigger size, or also fade the trigger. So the trigger will be activated only if we move the mouse in its position, in its location. But for now, I just don't care about it. Or at least we can activate the button, the command, to face it the camera. So as you can see, now with the button disabled, the icon is not following me. I always let it on. So let's see what will happen in the specific view of our project. And in particular, if we want to see the configurator in action, we have to click on the F12 button from our keyboard, or at least click on this little icon here on the top right menu. From here, we are seeing our scene. This is a preview, so the button is not facing yet, but here it is the second time I click on it, and from here I just can click on the icon and the door will be opened or closed. It depends, of course, on how many clicks I'm doing on the icon. Okay, but let's say I want that my configurator, my icon, follows the door. So let's back to the scene on the configurator menu from here, and from here, in particular on the scene menu, so I'm maybe dividing the menus, I can see that from now on it will be shown a trigger object inside my scene graph here, because I select a 3D object mode, and I can take this little object and put it inside the rotator group. From now on, anytime I click on the icon that will activate the configurator will follow the rotator, in this case rotator settings. So the configurator will rotate too. And this is the first, let's say, type of configurator, but of course we can create a lot more of them. In particular, I can do the exact same thing here with this furniture door. In particular, I can do the exact same thing here with the rotator. I'm just going a little bit faster right now. Maybe this one, maybe this, the same settings as before, and then I'm duplicating it as an instance. No, maybe an instance, break instance, but only because this won't be the same degrees, but minus 120. So the first rotator will be linked to this door, and the second rotator will be linked to this ones. Okay, and as done for the doors before, I have to click on the play button to each one of them to, of course, deactivate them, and in the media mode, always with the properties activated, I'm clicking again on the plus icon. And from now on, I'm maybe doing I'm just creating the configurator for the first door. So the first behavior will be the door closed, and the second behavior will be the door open. So right now I'm clicking again on this little icon, and from here I'm renaming it close, and from here renaming it open. Okay, from here I'm capturing the turn bail, and from here again capturing the turn bail with the door open. Okay, so here applies the exact same thing as seen a moment ago. So I'm creating a 3D object, a trigger object will be displayed inside the scene graph, and I can of course move it around the scene. Okay, but what happens now if I'm putting the trigger inside the rotator? Of course, the trigger will follow the rotator properties, but what if I move on the F12 button on the full screen mode? If I click on this configurator, the configurator will disappear only because it's behind the 3D model. Okay, and from here, if I want to close this door, I have to go there and click here to, of course, close the door. But this is not something really. It is not coming to me the correct English word, but this is not so comfortable. So what we can do here, of course, maybe renaming it rotation for door. We can, from here, and in particular from its properties, create in the trigger section a second trigger by duplicating the first one. Okay, so from now on, we have two different triggers. As you can see, I'm clicking on this one and it will be highlighted, and the same thing applies to the second one. And for the second trigger, as you can see, I can, of course, move it and modify it separately from the first one. And we can do the exact same thing by putting it inside the same rotator. So from now on, if I click on the open menu, both configurators, both triggers will move. But for the second one, I'm just putting it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just clicking on it. I'm just putting, maybe. Let me, okay, open it. I'm just putting it, maybe, in this location. So, what is happening right now? Quit media mode, click on F12. Right now, it's happening that I'm clicking on the first trigger to open the door, and then I'm clicking on the second trigger to close the door. So from now on, I'm not linked on a single trigger to open and close a door, because I have a single trigger to open the door and a separate trigger to close the same door. But let's move on with maybe a translator, because the translator is kind of the same thing for applied with the rotators, but maybe from here I'm doing something like minus 0.4. Yeah, 0.2. Once and I'm selecting this little door. Okay, 0.4 I think is perfect. And as for the others, I'm disabling the play button. And from the media, again with the properties, I'm creating the plus button, and from here, by clicking on the translator play, I'm creating the new state. So the first one will be close. This is just up to you if you want to rename the states. And this one, open. So the first one is closed, so I'm capturing the turn bail, and the second one is the open, and I'm capturing the turn bail. Okay? Same thing applies here, so 3D object, because I want that the trigger is a specific object that follow my specific icon that follows my trigger, my sliding doors in this case, something like that. So I'm just putting the trigger inside the same translator, and as you can see, now the trigger is moving with the sliding door. Maybe I'm just moving it here. So by clicking it from here, my configurator will be activated. So from now, what I can see by clicking on the F12 button is that I just created 3 different configurators, all with the properties functionality. So I can rotate a door, I can slide another door, or I can open and close a door with 2 different triggers inside the same configurator. But let's move on. I'm just saving maybe the file because this is a Twinmotion 2025.1 preview version, so really be careful on using it on professional or commercial uses, because it's a little bit unstable. It will crash and has a lot of bugs, so be careful, just saying it. In the media, let me just maybe renaming translator for door. Okay. In the media, I'm changing with the material switch, and from here, and by clicking of course the plus icon, we can change maybe the entire wall configurations or materials. And from here, the settings are of course the same already seen for the properties configurator, but from here the only one thing you have to do is of course find a single object or group of objects or surfaces you want to change, and then you don't have to click on something in particular like the rotator and then click on the plus icon here to create a new state. You only want to modify the material of anything you want. Let's see how. You maybe go there. I'm changing all the wall materials, so maybe I don't know, maybe something like that. No, this is the same material. Yeah, something like that. And then let me just change it a little bit. This is not something I really like. Yeah, maybe this one. Rotating it 90 degrees. Randomize. Okay. Scale 2. Okay. And once you have changed all the materials inside your scene, you just click on this little icon. So from now on, we have the first state with the first material and the second state with the second material. We can do this exact same thing with all the materials we want. So for instance, I'm changing again the material with this, no, maybe this one. I don't know why it's oriented this way. So by just scaling it and also randomize it. Then click again on the plus icon to create another state. Maybe I'm just modifying it with another material, maybe from my library with marble material, like this one. It's a bit too large here, but it's okay. So from here we have the possibility to modify and to switch all the materials from here, and we of course can rename it. So hood 1, hood 2, hood 3, and finally the marble. So this is hood 2. And here again we can switch, we can change the color, the turn-bale. So capturing this turn-bale, capturing this turn-bale, capturing this turn-bale, capturing this turn-bale. Okay? And here in the settings, we can of course have a 2D layer, a 3D object as a trigger and position it where we want, as for the configurators. But from here, with the material changes, in particular when you change the whole configuration of your model, I prefer to have a 2D layer layout. So my button will be displayed here on the bottom of the screen, and from here maybe I can change also the icon with this material icon. And from here I don't want to have a switch behavior, because with the switch, by clicking on this icon, I will modify, of course, the materials, but I want the list, because with the list I'm clicking here and then I see perfectly what is the material I'm selecting. So from here, maybe let me just see if there is something else. Yeah, of course, if you click on the list button, you will also have in the details menu the list size. So for example, now we have a little circles for our previews, but if we want, we can increase this size, but I think it's not something really relevant for us. But for now, I can of course rename it walls material. Oh, yeah. By clicking on F12, we have, of course, our configurators for the properties, but also the material configurator. Okay? And this is great in my point of view. Okay? But of course it's not finished yet, because what if we want not, of course, to modify all the materials, for instance, of the walls, but we want to modify materials of a single object? Well, of course, we create the same configurator as seen a moment ago. So material, and we want maybe to change materials of the table. So this will be the first stage. So the table with hood leg and marble horizontal plane. But what if we want maybe something like that as a second stage? And what if we want something like this in a third stage? Let me just see. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. And what if I don't know, maybe we want something like yeah, another material from this, but maybe black. Of course, I'm just using samples, examples materials. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. And again, as for the other configurations. Well, I could rename all of them, but I'm not wasting time. I'm just capturing the turnbale. This one, are they? Yeah, different. Capturing this turnbale, capturing this turnbale. Okay, so by doing so, I'm just having different configurations for this table. But in this particular case, I don't want to have a 2D layer trigger, but I want a 3D object. So this 3D object will turn in a trigger element inside the scene graph, and from here I can put this configurator where I prefer, maybe on the table, something like that. Okay, and let me see, yeah, maybe I'm changing also the material icon, and again a list. Quitting the media mode, click on F12, and from here again I can switch. Oh, here there are some lamps, so I don't see perfectly the behavior, but as you can see, all the configurators has been set. And of course, we also have our 2D layer behavior from here, so we can also change our materials of the walls. Yeah, not only the walls, but also the table, because the same materials applied to the walls has been applied also on the legs of the table and the chairs, but it's not something relevant for the moment. The last thing I want to show you from here is the configurator with downloaded or uploaded turnbale. In particular, from here, I'm creating another trigger, and maybe from here, I'm creating a video and clicking on it to create a different stage. So the first one with the TV off, and the second one with the TV on. But with this material, I don't want, of course, the default video material from the Twinmotion library, but I want something like, I don't know, maybe Netflix I have already downloaded from the web. And from here, of course, with the scale, I'm just modifying it a little bit to have the N Netflix logo centered in the screen of this television. Yeah, something like that. And for the Y offset, something like that. Oh, it's too much. So 0.8, no, 0.8, no, 0.6. 0.1, no, 15, no, 20. Yeah, I think we are not 20, 25. I'm sorry, I'm not very good on doing that. This is not a command really intuitive to use. 48, no, so let's say 55, no, 59. We are almost here. 65, no, 69. Yeah, we are almost there. Yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit scaled or stretched, but let's say for now it's okay. And the same thing we can do, of course, by creating another state. So this channel will be Netflix, and this channel will be load turnbale, but modifying just the material, will be open the Amazon Prime Video logo, and from here we have to do the exact same thing. 0.05, 08, 0.1. I just want to be the logo in the center of it. 0.5, no, so minus 0.5, 0.8, 0.1, 0.2. Just see 0.3. Yeah, 0.27. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, of course, the scale is not correct, but I think you understood correctly what I was meaning to you. And from here, of course, the TV switched off could be with this black turn bell, but this specific one, load turn bell, so I'm not capturing it from the Twinmotion preview, but I'm importing an image already downloaded from the web that is, of course, the N Netflix logo. The same thing with the Amazon Prime Video logo. So from here, and again, I'm using a 3D object, putting it maybe here. Yeah. With the change material icon, and then, of course, the list. And from here, by clicking it, I will have the turn off TV, the Netflix program or anything you prefer, and the Prime Video logo. Okay? And this is really nice to use in this specific moment. Again, I'm saving the scene because I don't want to lose all the work I've done with these new configurators, and let's proceed, because from here we have the visibility configurator, and it allows me to, let me just rename it TV on off. The visibility configurator allow me to create variants of my project, and in particular, maybe I want to, I don't know, to change the chairs, the stools from here. So this is the first state with this. Let's say variant of this project, but the second one will be, maybe something like I don't know, I'm putting I don't like the Twinmotion chairs, I'm using mine seats chair, something like that. The second state will be something like 3, like this one. Maybe modifying it a little bit. Okay, so I'm clicking on the first state that will be without them. So I'm updating the configurator, and the second one will be, of course, with these chairs turned off and the second one's turned on. Yes, this way. So this and this, this and this. And maybe we can have another configuration, maybe with this very nice chair. Yeah, you can, of course, select what you prefer. It doesn't care. So we are just hiding these chairs to have only this one. So this, maybe for this particular I have to hide them, and then of course to update the state. So here, the same thing applies here. Yeah, and from now on we have 3 different configurations. Again, for the let's say turn bale here, we can maybe have a copy of all our chairs, only to have the turn bale perfectly updated. Yeah, maybe I'm selecting this chair, putting it here, and maybe from here I'm okay, because I'm isolating this specific chair, creating the turn bale. So I'm doing the exact same thing for this one. No, I missed. Yeah, but no problem. Capture turnbell, and then for this one, capturing turnbell. Okay, and of course, for now on, I don't no longer need this copied chair. So this one has to be updated because I missed. Okay, perfect. And with from the configurator settings, I don't have to do nothing. But for me, it's okay to create a 3D object, putting it maybe I don't know, maybe here. So I remember that this configurator applies to the chairs. And in particular, from here, I also want the list because I want to see what configuration I'm going to activate. And from here, yeah, I think this icon will be perfect. So, quit media mode, activating the F12 button, and from now on, we have a lot of configurators set. So the ones that activate triggers, the ones that modify materials, as this one, or a global material, or we have a configurator that change our chair's configuration. In particular, I saw something. Yeah, this that is not something I want to see inside my scene. I'm just hiding all the chairs that are not necessary, and then okay, from now I have only one set of chair, and then I can select the chair I prefer. But it's not finished because with the I don't remember the name, with the visibility, rename it chair. With the visibility option, there is a really nice option or configuration we can set, and I'm talking about lights. In particular, here I have already created my lights, and I can create a visibility configurator talking about lights, and let me just see, where are my lights? Yeah, this one. These are all my lights, and I will create a state with the lights turned off and another state with the lights turned on. Okay, so this will be lights off, and this will be rename lights on. Right now I don't see. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Right now I don't see the lights turned on, only because I'm with the raster engine. But if I change my engine with, in particular, the Lumen engine, that will be the one that we will use to see all our project in the configuration, I will see the difference between the one with the lights off and the one with the lights on. Okay? From here, in particular, we can create also a 3D object trigger, and maybe putting it, something like there. You can put it where, of course, you prefer, and this one will be not with the list but also with a switch, because it's just a button to be pressed. And then, of course, I'm changing also the icon. So by clicking here, I will switch my lights on and off. And for me, it's really great. I can rename it kitchen lights, but we can do the exact same thing with all the lights we want. So maybe from here, I can create a specific state with all the lights off, and another one with leaving lights on. So I just switch it on and then create another state. So the first one with the lights off and the second one with the lights on. Maybe with this one I want the lights to be a little bit higher. Yeah. So this one and this one, this one and this one. And again, I'm creating a 3D object, placing it maybe here with this icon. And from now on, we will have also the configuration to turn our light on or off. And again, for the last time saving my project, now maybe not the last time because I also have to create the ambience configurator, but only to save my work done until now. And as you have noticed, maybe I had to say it in the first, but from now I have created all the configurations with the render, the raster engine, only because I'm really faster on creating configurations without having lags or the software to be slow. Of course, you can do the exact same thing by using the Lumen from the very start, but of course, it will be a little bit slower, depending, of course, on your PC configurations. Last but not least, the ambience configuration. With this interior scene is not something really relevant because I don't see a lot of ambience from outside, but maybe we can do as an ambience switch. I don't know what's happened here. Yeah, this was the lights. Yeah, maybe renaming the configurators is really important. So leaving lights only because in this way you won't be lost on clicking on the correct configuration. But from here, creating the ambience and then click on the plus icon. From now on, I will have this ambience configuration with this environment, and of course what I have to do if I want another state, of course I have to go in the ambience menu, I have to change maybe time of the day, yeah, something like that, and then create another state. So we have this one and then we have this one. Okay, maybe we can create another state with our new fantastic and amazing how do I say it? Yeah, clothes, but I can use also a preset, so something like Fogbound. Yeah, and then clicking on the plus to create the third stage. So this one, and this one. Okay. So from here, I don't see a lot of sound coming from outside. But of course, the last word is up to the Lumen engine. Okay? So this, yeah, the one with the fog is really distracting my scene. So maybe I'm not using the fog for this one. Maybe I just wanted something with some clouds. Yeah, maybe I'm just activating it myself. Yeah, something like that. And then updating it. 1, 2, and 3. So this one will be, of course, with the Lumen. Updating and then capture turnbale. The second one will be, of course, with the Lumen, updating and then capturing the turnbale. The third one will be, of course, for the last time, with the Lumen, update and then capturing turnbale. So 1, 2, and 3 ambience set. Okay? Oh no, maybe why I have the sun entering the scene? Yeah, maybe because our sun is not completely covered by the clouds, or then it's not there. So I'm just scaling the clouds. I'm decreasing the vertical extent, increasing the density, increasing the cirrus, and for the distribution, it's okay. So I, yeah, right now the sun is not entering my scene, and this is perfect. So 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So this is the final thing I wanted to tell you about configurators. And again, if you want to see all the configurations activated in the same time, you have to click on the F12 button, and from now on, or maybe let me just change it, this one, with another icon, this one. I want this icon, not a 3D object. I want it to be a 2D layer as the materials, because it's a global behavior. And from here, yeah, perfect. We have these chairs, configurator. We have the table material configurator. Oh, let me just, activate the Lumen engine before it. I'm activating the Lumen, so everything now is perfect. Oh no. Lumen. Yeah, with the accurate. And then click on the F12. And from now on, of course, our scene will be with a higher quality. The same thing applies with the chair, with, oh yeah, the lights turn on and off, with, of course, the configurators of the doors, the configurator of the TV program we want to see, Netflix, Prime Video, or anything else, or maybe with the translators, or with the doors opening and closing with different triggers, and also, lastly, with the 2D icons, so the material switch from here, and then the ambient changing. Yeah, and this is it for this today's tutorial. I hope you found it useful to increase your project presentation, your quality project presentation, and bring them in a really impressive way. I again thank you for your support, for your attention, and to be a part of my larger community. If you have anything else to suggest me, you can do it in the comment, as said in the last video, in all the videos I'm doing. I really thank you for all the topics, on the inputs you are giving me, and I will be really happy to discuss them with you, and maybe by creating a new video. That said, thank you again for supporting me, and see you very soon. Ciao!